It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Tuesday Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast on this, the 4th day of June, 2024, coming to you from a very seasonably warm Bedford County, Central Virginia area. Going to be up in the mid-80s again today. It only got down in the 60s last night. Amanda did go take a dip in the pool last night. She said it's still really cold. But I am going to try to get in. I made it to the third step yesterday. I'm going to see about getting closer today. So I'm not going to get in if it's that still biting cold. I'll give it another couple days. All right, on to the business of today. The top story this morning: high winds impact cruise ships in Elliott Bay. Also today, we're going to talk about Juneau and CLIA reach agreement. Another port canceled for Carnival Pride. Bar businesses seek another injunction. Islander deploys waste reduction technology. An outbreak on Celebrity Summit. Carnival to integrate P&O Australia. Another delay for V Odyssey. And lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. Kind of a busy day as far as the news stories go. Today, guys, is National Cheese Day. I'm all in favor of that. I can eat cheese any way you want it, cooked in food. Just eat plain cheese of any kind. I like it all. What's it, Lumburger, whatever that real sticky one is. That's the only cheese that I don't like. I like blue cheese, Roquefort, and any of the cheddars, Swiss, Elam. It doesn't matter. I like cheese. So I'm definitely good with today being National Cheese Day. If you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. All the big guys have me. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. Anytime you're listening via a podcast, there's always a link in the podcast so you can jump over to the video feed if you want to check out things like interviews or pictures or clips that I'm using on that day's show. So, a number of stories to get to today. Before I do that, Kenneth asked a question this morning. Good morning, Kenneth. By the way, I'm glad you're having a sunny, warm day in Pennsylvania. Maybe the snow will start to melt now. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You ask if Hot Air Tom or and I don't know about Hot Air Tom, but I do not have a Panama Canal cruise scheduled. However, I am working now on next summer, summer of 2025. Tell me when you want to go to the Panama Canal, and maybe I'll find this one and schedule it. I mean, I love going through the canal. That would probably, there's a lot of good Holland American ships that go through the canal. I've been through the canal on Van Dam and New Staten Dam. I don't remember. But anyway, yeah, there's just let me know when you want to go. Tell Robin to send me a message and I'll see if I can find one. See if we can put together a little group. Doesn't have to be a big group. I mean, I'll do little groups. Just 3 or 4 cabins is fine. I don't care. So, yeah, let me know. All right. Since we got quite a few news stories today, let's take a quick break from one of our network sponsors and get on with the business at hand. Two cruise ships were stranded in Elliott Bay outside of Seattle yesterday morning due to high winds. Quantum of the Seas and Hurtigruten Expeditions MS Roald Amundsen could not make port and were stranded, waiting for tugboats to assist. As Quantum of the Seas approached its berth at the port of Seattle for its 6 a.m. arrival, strong winds forced the ship to wait until more tugboats could assist. Typically, 2 tugboats are used to bring a cruise ship into port, but with strong winds, the ship required extra caution to dock at Pier 91 and chose to anchor in Elliott Bay as it waited. Quantum of the Seas arrived in Elliott Bay shortly after 5 a.m., according to cruise tracking data, and did not dock until 1 p.m. Pacific time. The delay had significant implications for passengers with early morning or afternoon flights, as they missed their connections. Those with flights later in the day were still at risk, as disembarkation on mega ships as large as Quantum of the Seas can take up to 4 hours to complete. On the same day, the National Weather Service issued a wind advisory for western Washington, including Elliott Bay, forecasting gusts up to 40 miles an hour until 11 a.m. today. Norwegian expedition cruise line Hurtigruten Expeditions, 1,018-passenger MS Roald Amundsen, which is only 460 feet long, was also stranded in the Sound, requiring additional tugs. The ship is currently spending the summer exploring Alaska. The city and borough of Juneau, Alaska, and cruise lines calling on the port have signed a memorandum of agreement to help manage visitor industry volume in the capital city by establishing a limit of 16,000 lower berths per day, with 12,000 on Saturday. The agreement also includes a commitment to meet annually to optimize the schedule, review visitor numbers, and discuss community goals. Negotiated by Juneau and CLIA, the latest memorandum is based on recommendations established by the Visitor Industry Task Force in 2021 and furthers the partnership among the parties. Hey, cruisers, we still have some openings on the September 6th cruise with Chillie, Boston to Quebec City cruise on the Norwegian Gem. We leave from Boston on September 6th, make our way to Bar Harbor, Halifax, Sydney, Charlottetown, La Baye, and then to Quebec City. We have solo cabins and regular cabins available. Solo starts at $1,365. Double occupancy starts at $935 per person. Those include taxes and port charges. Just give me a call, 434-258-9264. There's also a return cruise from Quebec City to Boston. Ask about that too. Guests sailing aboard Carnival Pride for the first of the ship's 3 Greenland sailings this year are missing yet another port of call. After previous itinerary adjustments, including canceling both Greenland ports of call, the ship has now been unable to make its visit to St. Anthony yesterday. Originally, the ship was to have visited St. Anthony today, but the visit was bumped up a day after the Greenland ports were removed from the itinerary. Carnival Pride did approach St. Anthony and anchor as planned, but poor weather precluded the use of the ship's water shuttles, as it would have been unsafe to move guests back and forth from the cruise ship. Local businesses have once again petitioned the Maine District Court to prevent the town of Bar Harbor from enforcing a new regulation that limits cruise ship passengers allowed to 1,000 per day. The petition follows a decision by the U.S. First Circuit Court to allow the ban to remain in effect during ongoing litigation. The injunction request, filed on May 30th, aims to stop Bar Harbor from using the ordinance to deny cruise ship reservations while the nearly 2-year legal dispute unfolds. Power Not Ocean has installed LFC biodigesters on the Margaritaville at Sea Islander to improve waste management and sustainability efforts on the cruise ship, which just arrived in Fort Lauderdale on June 2nd following an extensive dry dock renovation. On average, cruise ship generates about 7.5 pounds of food waste per passenger per day. That means more than 24,000 pounds of food waste can be generated on Margaritaville at Sea Islander. By using the biodigesters, the ship aims to reduce its food waste. The newest queen of the Cunard line has been officially named with a symbolic godparent no one was expecting. Rather than a single godmother or godfather, widely speculated to be a member of the British royal family, the iconic cruise line chose the whole historic city of Liverpool as Queen Anne's official godparent. 5 women, all hailing from the amazing city with its rich maritime history, were selected, each representing the unique and diverse culture of the city. The iconic women are Spice Girl and author Melanie C., broadcaster and community leader Gunan Adamu, local restaurant entrepreneur Natalie Hayward, Liverpool punk music and cultural legend Jane Casey, and British Olympian track and field heptathlete Katarina Johnson-Thompson. Each attended the ship's official christening to add their own blessings and good fortune to the vessel. Outbreaks on cruise ships aren't overly common, but when they do happen, norovirus is usually to blame. And the gastrointestinal virus most recently struck on Celebrity Summit. Throughout its current sailing, 68 of 2,264 passengers and 5 of the 943 crew members experienced gastrointestinal symptoms, which were subsequently diagnosed as norovirus. That's about 3%. Carnival Corporation has announced that in less than a year, the P&O Cruises Australia brand will be dissolved and absorbed into Carnival Cruise Line. Carnival, of course, is the largest line under the Carnival umbrella and the largest cruise line in the world. This is a strategic move designed to further increase Carnival Cruise Line's capacity faster and more efficiently than new build ships, which would take several years. Costa Luminosa, Costa Venezia, and Costa Firenze were added to the Carnival Cruise Line fleet in 2022, 2023, and 2024. Currently, P&O Cruises encompasses just 3 ships: Pacific Explorer, Pacific Adventure, and Pacific Encounter. After this restructuring, Carnival Cruise Line will have a total of 29 active ships, as well as 2 additional XL-class ships on order, with delivery dates expected in 2027 and 2028. Residents who are hoping to board Vila V's Odyssey in mid-May to live on board the cruise ship will have to wait longer, as the company's anticipated start has been pushed back again, this time for 12 days. with a new in-service date of June 15th, starting from Belfast now. The issue this time? Rudder posts. Why not join us on a cruise with Chillie from New York to Rome on the Norwegian Epic? The ship sails on March 31st, 2025 from New York, with stops in Bermuda, Ponta Delgada, Lisbon, Barcelona, Cannes, Livorno, Naples, and arrives at Civitavecchia in Rome on April the 15th. Solo cabins start at $27.32. Double occupancy starts at $16.32 per person. Those prices include all taxes and port charges. Give me a call or text 434-258-9264 for a transatlantic on the Epic from New York to Rome. And that's going to wrap up the news portion of today's show. Let's go see who's fussing at me in the chat room. All right, I spoke to Kenneth. Joanne's with us. Good morning, Joanne. Gary, older than dirt's here. Morning, all. Gretchen's with us out in Ohio. Steve's here. Morning, everybody. Oh, Jim Bow's here from Louisville. Welcome, Jim. Good to see you. Cindy's with us. Good morning, Cindy. And there's Hot Air Tom. Joanne says, I have a Panama Canal scheduled for March on Celebrity. Elizabeth's with us down in opposite Cozumel and Playa del Carmen. Buena dias, Chilean gang. Another hot day here. I just went through the canal for my 116th time this past November. Not surprised. Hot Air Tom says, no Panama Canal cruises on my schedule yet. It would be 2026 before we could do one. We did a back-to-back on Joy, Miami to Panama City, lost November and December, had an ADA cabin center aft, and it was terrific to see the canal from that cabin. Kenneth said that would probably be best for us in 2026. You have bad months in November and December since we opened our store up. The other 10 months are open. Okay, so you can't do it in November, December, but you'd be open for anything else. The other thing, Hot Air Tom, when did you go last through the canal? Middle of the summer, it gets pretty hot. That was one of the drawbacks on my last cruise through there. It was stifling hot. Hot Air says, Cindy and I are on August 25th Celebrity Silhouette cruise from Iceland to Greenland, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, ending in Boston. A nice freebie from Park West. Todd's with us. Great stories today. Thank you, Todd. Kenneth, did you tell Robin you booked the January Bliss cruise? Yeah, she knows. I promise you she knows. So, all right, guys. That's going to wrap me up for today. I tell you what, it's a bit of a short day because I didn't do some of the extra things I normally do. Going to get out this afternoon again and attempt to get in the pool. I don't know how successful I'll be, but I'm also going to, get in a little sun again. I'm trying to do that very slowly with the stupid chemo meds I'm on. So far, I haven't had any reaction from the sun. So we'll work on it and see. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Of course, I'll be back here same time, same channel tomorrow. Please smash that thumbs up button. That helps the channel out tremendously. We've had a little uptick again in subscribers. We're up to 60, I want to say 62.39. So I'm almost a quarter of the way between 6,000 and 7,000. So we're starting to get a little more movement there. So if you have not subscribed, please take this as my invitation to join us. We do this 5 days a week at least, and sometimes more, depending on what's going on in the cruising world. Hit that bell notification. You'll be notified when I go live or when a new video is posted. Oh, she messaged the Hot Air Time to wonder what Bliss Cruises he was booked on. Okay, he's booked on both. I can tell you that one. We're going over on the Bliss, and we're hanging out in Europe for the 3 weeks, 18. I think it's 18 days. Hot Air Tom said that the Bliss is in dry dock, and we're jumping back on her and coming back home. So that's the Bliss. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Thanks for being here, as always. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas, whether it's in the Panama Canal or Alaska or Europe or anywhere. We'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, chilly chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.